What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to London, we're going to Soho, we're going to do some POV stuff at night. Going to basically talk you through what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and if you've got any questions please drop them in the comments because I'd love to answer them. Let's go. So here we go. As you can see, it's slightly light still and we're going to jump straight into it. And here I'm looking at the lights, I'm looking at the reflections, and I was quite happy with that. It's quite nicely framed, and we're moving on. So just up the street I can see the Soho theatre sign, which is quite cool. Decided to change up the settings and get some movement involved. As you can see, what I'm doing here is basically just getting the focus right, which I could manually set, to be fair. Not that it needs to be set at all really, but yeah, nice little movement on that. And again, the same thing here, just waiting for the right subjects to come across. And essentially what I'm looking for is I'm looking for people to walk across the frame just to create a little bit of movement, something a little bit more interesting. I mean, these sorts of shots you could wait around all day. It depends how patient you are. For me, that was the shot when the woman came across with the dogs. I was quite happy with that. It's quite nicely framed either side. And I moved on. At this point, it would have probably gone back into aperture priority. Just come around the corner. And I saw the guys setting up. The shop was closed. And the lights were off in the shop. I know the GoPro makes it look really bright, but that's the shot I got. Quite liked it, nothing special. So we're back into Soho here. And I saw this guy eating, got the nice texture off the filmy thing in the front. I thought that was quite a cool shot. Quite nicely framed. And again, this coffee shop, by the way, which is about to turn to, that one there. Bar Italia, beautiful coffee if you're in Soho. I quite like this bike, quite interesting, not a normal shot for me, but thought it looked quite cool, so I got it. Did quickly nip to Chinatown, so this next bit is all from Chinatown actually. This is behind Chinatown almost, where the guys come out and have a smoke, have a break, and I saw this guy here, quite cool. And then you get the moment where he looks at the camera, which for me then just is, boom, take that shot. It's quite cool, I was quite happy with that one. Into main town, Chinatown now, or the main bit of Chinatown. And this guy here, you can see the smoke, which obviously makes a nice atmosphere to the photo. And yeah, it's quite cool, quite a famous window. Most people shoot that window when they come to Chinatown. Next bit, round the corner, and again you got this nice filmy stuff which gives really cool textures. So I'm looking for texture off the actual film with subjects behind it, which you can kind of see there. Nice light as well, that's nice and deep. All the depth, there's depth there. And again, round the corner, just the other side, just to get a slightly different perspective. It's always good at looking at stuff from different sides, so you might get a better angle from the other side. I quite like that shot. And again, same again, I haven't actually edited this photo, but that was quite a nice one. But this is the photo I like here. So again, you've got a guy that's working in the window. Again, you've got the reflections off the window, which I love, and then I've got the bokeh of the light in the background, and it's nicely framed, so it's quite a cool photo. I quite like that one. Now this one is another window. I do love a window. I love a bit of reflections. Just for me, that adds such a nice dimension to the shot. So I always try and sort of look at that sort of thing. But as you can see here, I have the prism out, and what it's done is it's created crazy light off the sign above, the bubble station sign above the shop, which then comes across, which I thought was so cool. So it is worth having a prism out because it does change the perspective of the shot completely, which is, I love. Again here, another texture shot is coming up. This is a mega famous window, so if you're in Chinatown in London, if you don't shoot this window, then I don't know what you've been doing. But as you can see, nice little texture from the window. You get the bokeh in the background. It's beautiful. Got to shoot it. Anyway, we're back to Soho now. and I thought this was quite cool. I found this window here, which in a moment you'll see there's a kind of a smiley face in it. And again, I've changed the settings back to manual so I can get a bit of movement, and I just thought that was quite cool. Just a bit different, little filler photo. And somehow back in Chinatown. These might not be in a particular order. I saw this woman with a hat. Again, it's not a great image, but you get an idea of just being around the streets, and I quite like this, with the light coming from the windows in the far side. That's quite a cool photo, her with a hat on, looking happy. Anyway, right, back to Soho now. I'm not sure what happened there, but it doesn't matter. Photo's a photo. So these little back alleys in Soho are quite cool. You get lots of windows, lots of different stuff going on. And again, this was a back street, this one, you're going to see in a second. As I'm walking past, stay vigilant is my best advice. I thought this was quite cool. Nice leading lines. It's nicely framed. You've got lots of shadow at the front and then obviously lit above. That was quite a nice photo. Again, we're walking around and I saw this really cool sort of opaque window, I suppose. And it gave a really nice reflection off to the street. Kind of like a faded style, which I really like. And eventually, after waiting there a little bit, I got this shot, which again I quite like. I like the light in the background. The opaqueness gives a sort of mysteriousness to the photo, so I quite like that one. Now this is a cool photo because, as you can see behind, there's sort of an eye in the middle of the photo, and there was this couple were sitting here, and it just gave off a super cool reflection from the window. And eventually, after playing around with it, I got this. And the reason why I like this so much is because you've got the two people behind the eyes. It's almost like they're being watched, which in theory they were, but anyway, quite a cool photo. I like that one a lot. Back to the pizza place, they're now open, and dude's got his hat on, as you'll see in a moment. And I like this one again because you've got the nice out of focus elements at the front, and then you've got the guy in focus, and then the back is all out of focus, the lights, you've got nice bokeh. So again, that was a really cool shot. I like that one a lot. We're back to manual now, and again, I'm just playing around with it really, just experimenting, trying to do something a bit different, and then you got the little bit of movement to the photo. Again, a nice little filler image. I do say just try and play around with what you're shooting and how you're shooting, and be creative, because trying to get some movement in your photos adds a really nice element. Anyway, back to Soho, back to walking around, and saw this woman eating. I just thought it was such a cool, like it would have actually maybe been a bit better if this was tighter. Eventually she did see me and she was quite cool with it. She gave me a little wave and I quite like that photo. I thought that painted quite a nice interaction. So I was quite happy with that. I really liked it. Again, just walking around, finding little things that are a bit interesting. I thought wet paint, that was quite cool. Again, you've got a nice opaque window, adds sort of mystery to the photo. And eventually, yeah, we got the shot. So I think it's about here that my GoPro decided to die. So you can kind of see me playing around with that particular shot. So I did get another good shot, which I quite liked. I mean, I got loads more shots whilst I was around and in between having the GoPro on, but I didn't think it was much good me showing you the GoPro being not on whilst I got the shots. But there was one more shot at the end, which I quite liked. And it's this shot here, which I thought was quite cool because you've got the guy in the back, looking in the reflection, and you get this kind of like split frame. So again, it's just looking for different things that are a little bit interesting, things that you might not necessarily have thought about shooting naturally. You might just go, oh, I'm going to shoot this person or that person or whatever. But if you can find things that are a little bit more creative, it will certainly give you a nice perspective that's maybe a little bit different. There you have it, guys. That's 1 hour in Soho done and dusted. Hopefully it gave you a good idea of what I'm looking for when I'm going out shooting. Night photography actually isn't really my thing, but you can see what I'm looking for there. I'm looking for interesting things like reflections, some neon lights to kind of jazz things up a little bit. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm happy to help you. I really will reply to everyone, because for me this channel is all about, not only am I hoping to get better, I'm hoping to pass over my wisdom as I do get better at what I do. And hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy it, please like it, please hit that subscribe button, it would mean a lot, and turn those notifications on so you can not miss out on any videos like this. Until the next one, peace. bye.